What's going on, guys? Boosted Whips here. I'm going to be doing a video. You guys already saw on my social media. Those that haven't, I swapped out my steering wheel for a racing carbon fiber one. I already have it installed. What I'm going to cover in this video is the tips so that you guys can see if this is something you want to do or take it to a shop. A shop normally charges, anywhere between $40 to even maybe $100 to do this type of installation. The installation is very easy. There's been other vehicles that it's much harder because there's so much other tools that you need, but I'll cover that, what is needed for this. So the very first step you want to do is make sure that your steering wheel is straight and centered. This will help you when you install the new steering wheel, that everything is aligned properly. So very important, align your steering wheel before you start. Make sure that it is as straight as possible and centered. So I'm gonna go ahead and move to the next step. Once you have your steering wheel straight and centered, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and remove your battery terminals. You want to start off with the negative, and to do so you're going to need a 10mm socket to go ahead and remove the terminals. So once again, very important, you want to start with the negative. This kills all the power off of the car. So we'll remove this carefully. Now go ahead and remove the positive. This is just for extra precaution, just in case, so that nothing gets triggered. And you want to wait at least, anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes. I'm not going to be doing, all the crazy setup for you guys. I'm just going to show you tips that might remove, a good chunk of it, so you guys can see what is it that is this install entails. But you want to go ahead and wait while you do this. So we'll go ahead and move to the next step. Alright guys, the next step is to go ahead and remove the airbag. To do that, there's a hole. You notice there's a hole right there, and there's one on the opposite side. I'm going to use a little Allen key. You're going to go in, insert, and you should be able to feel the pressure in that clip. You're going to push in, and it should release the airbag. You can do this side by side, one side at a time, or if you have somebody to help, you can use 2 Allen keys, push it in, and have somebody pull the airbag from the center. That way it's much easier. But if you're working alone, you're going to have to do one side at a time and then work on the other side, using one hand to pull and one hand to pry inside the hole and release that airbag side on the side. Alright guys, so all you have to do is go ahead and you insert this until you feel the clip, and what you want to do is you want to grab from here and pull. Once you reach that, there it is, I just pressed it. You're gonna feel the pressure. It's kind of like a rubber band type of effect, and then there it is. I'm gonna give you an up close. It's already released. I had done the other side, and then we'll go ahead and remove the cable. I'll show you how that gets done. Alright guys, so once it's released, what you want to do is you want to grab from the bottom. You're going to push towards you this way, and then you're going to tilt. So I had already removed this because it is a little bit of pain. It requires you some patience, but there's 2 tabs. If you notice, there's one on each side. I use a pry tool to pull this one up, and then push up. Be very careful with this cable, guys. Just don't stress it. Take your time and go ahead and do it. This one here, it's very easy. It's just this 2 tabs right here. And it releases. One on each side on the actual connector. This right here is where you're going to push. Just much easier. And then the airbag is released. Alright, the next step, you can go either disconnect this cable or go ahead and remove these 2 screws. I'm going to go ahead and remove these 2 screws. It's a Phillips. Make sure you have a good screwdriver. You don't want to go ahead and be stripping these. One. And then after this, guys, all the pieces are snap on, snap off. So it's not that hard. You're going to go ahead and transfer everything to the new steering wheel. And I'll show you how that gets done. So you just snap, you pull from here, and now you have this piece out, which is the bottom piece. And then you want to remove this top piece, and then these here are going to be held on by another screw, which I'll show you where it is. Alright, what you want to go ahead and do is remove this top trim. I already removed it. All you need to do is use a pry tool to go ahead and pop these clips and these that are held on this area here towards the end as well. They come off really easily. Just got to apply a little bit of pressure, but not too much where you're going to go ahead and break it. So this comes off. And then these controls are also held on, one by pressure and by two clips that are on the top. You want to go ahead and pry the ones in the corner, and then the other ones come off. The rest is just by pressure, and it's being held on by these two prongs, or whatever you want to call it. They get inserted in here securely. Once you do that, what you want to do is remove the connector. There's a push on it so that it releases easily. Same thing on this area right here. So guys, I had taken this out so that it's easier and visible in the video, but you'll see it's just as easy as that. Just gotta apply some pressure. So now these connectors are here. Your next step is to go ahead and remove the paddle shifters. We can go ahead and disconnect this at this point now. Also has a release tab at the bottom located here. That comes off. We want to go ahead and remove the paddle shifters. This is so that this back piece can go ahead and also be released after you remove this center screw. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the paddle shifters, and then we'll go ahead and take it from there. Once you go ahead and you remove the two Phillips screws, all you have to do is push down here on this plastic and it comes off. There's a connector. You want to go ahead and push on this pin right here, or this release tab, and the paddle shifter comes off. Here's the plus. You don't have to get confused, so you can put that set to the side. Same thing on this other side. Go ahead and remove the minus so it's not that hard to distinguish what side is side. The cool thing about this is that the screws that we remove from here and from these center points down here are identical, so you don't have to worry about which one's which and whatnot. But if you want to be organized, you can go ahead and do that. The other important thing, guys, after you remove this, also remember to remove these clips that are here. These metal clips. This is where the airbag is being held on. Once it's entered through here, it's being held on by these clips here. So you want to transfer these over. Do not forget. Originally when we did the install, we did forget, and it was hilarious. We were driving and the airbag just came off. Nothing happened, nothing critical. We just head home. We went ahead and we transferred this. At this stage here, all we had to do is remove. Everything was connecting. We were able to get this in, but it was really a pain. We needed to get it in and then push up against the plastic with a flathead screwdriver to get it in. So to avoid any mishaps or delays, go ahead and make sure you transfer these once the steering wheel is out. So let's go ahead and get to that next step. Alright, so for the center, what you want to need is a 10mm. This is a reverse, so it's kind of like an Allen 10mm size, and you're just gonna go ahead and loosen this up. You want to always push down, never push up, because as you start getting release or it starts to become loose, the bolt may come off and you're gonna go ahead and, you know what it can cause if you're pushing up, the steering wheel is gonna fly up and potentially break your window. So push down always, and then, you know, loosen. As you loosen this, eventually you're gonna be able to do it with your hand. We're gonna go ahead and remove it. I'm not gonna go further out. I think here is where I would stop, just because I don't want to be transferring out, and I already have the steering wheel installed. I just wanted you guys to have an idea so that you guys can see up to where we are. It's very easy. Once you remove this, the steering wheel comes off, this back piece snaps off. You transfer everything to the new steering wheel. As you see here, this is already the new steering wheel. So you would just transfer the back piece, mount the steering wheel back on here, and start transferring everything, the controls, the paddle shifters, all the plastic trims, and you press it in, and then you do the reverse process, connect the airbag, connect all these connections, and go ahead and insert your terminals from your battery. Alright guys, I already went ahead and I put some of the pieces back together. I put the bottom and the side controls and the paddle shifters. The last step you want to do after you have tightened it back together, this center bolt, you want to make sure that the steering wheel is centered. That's just why this line is here. This will help you guide and make sure that it's centered. Very important why you want to start your steering wheel to be very centered and straight from the beginning, because this will tell you if you're straight or not. And then lastly, you want to go ahead and torque this at 36 pounds. I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see, but 36 pounds. So you're gonna need a torque wrench. You want to push down until you hear that click tells you you are at the correct tightening force. So I'm gonna give a quick zoom in here. Hopefully you guys can see. Hard to see, but it's set up at 36. We have 35 here plus 1, so it's 36 pounds. And then you're ready to go ahead and put the airbag together and do the rest of the connections. Alright guys, so to finalize, you put the airbag, same thing, position it this way from the bottom, center, give it a good push. There. You got a click here and a click here. That's what you want to make sure, and you're all done. Alright guys, don't forget to go ahead and install your battery back on. This time you want to start reverse, so you want to do positive first. And by the way guys, make sure you have your key fob with you, because this will set off the alarm. Sure it's nice and tight. I'm gonna go ahead and put the negative. Go ahead and be ready with this. There it is. I unlocked it while putting this on, so we can trigger the alarm. Go. Once you do this and you start the car for the very first time, you're going to have all error codes on the vehicle, just because the ECU was restarted, the battery was disconnected for such a long time. So the program needs to learn everything again. You just got to go give it a little quick drive, which I'll show you right away, and it goes out and I'll show you a little comparison between the old steering wheel versus the new racing carbon fiber steering wheel, so you guys can see size perception and distinguish, you know, if you guys like it or not. All right, we're going to start the car for the first time. So if you notice, the system is initializing, so you want to go ahead and drive. You see that all the sensors are triggered at this point. And I wanted to show you guys, so on the radio it does this, so you want to go ahead and push the power button for more than 2 seconds, and that should enable your screen back on. Alright, So we're gonna go ahead and go a little drive, and you guys will see that this goes away. Guys to go ahead and see this. So what I like about this steering wheel is that the handles here are very contoured, so you tend to always, you know, drive with your hand and thumb on this side, so it caters that. That's really awesome. I like the flat bottom, and this here is just phenomenal. It's real carbon fiber. If you guys get really close to it, you'll be able to see the actual fibers, you know, intertwined. This is easy cleaning as well, and just makes the car look really nice. So there you go, guys. All the codes are gone. They leave within 2 minutes of driving. It took me a little longer just because I was going over speed bumps in the community. But the other feature I forgot to highlight, on the back of the steering wheel you have some little grooves where you can rest your finger, so that's also a nice feature that this comes with. This is fully customizable, guys. Shoot me an email if you guys are interested. It's $450 shipped. Ships within 3 to 6 weeks, and that is because this is all custom. There's no steering wheel already on stock or anything like that. Everything gets custom to you, so you can choose the stitching color. This one here is all black. I got mine's all in black. I just didn't want any of that fancy schmancy thing. This leather side aerial handles, you can change them in any color that you want. And also this ring up here. So this ring here, you can change it. A lot of people like doing the red combination here with the red stitching, everything else in black. You got some people that want the this in a different color and everything else in black, but you can do different variations. But these are the areas that are customizable. So it's the leather, the stitching, and this ring, you can change the color, and it's custom to you. So just shoot me an email. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, I was gonna go ahead and show the comparison of the old steering wheel, but you guys already know how it looks like, and I think these are the main points of this steering wheel. So anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Boosted Whips, I'm out. And as always, guys, like, share, and subscribe.